Good morning, dear students. I am Bharti Sehgal from the SD Vidya School. Today, we are going to start with a new chapter, the Animal Kingdom. The Animal Kingdom is one of the 5 kingdoms as given by Whitaker. So far, we have already discussed about the other 4 kingdoms, that is Kingdom Protista, Kingdom Monera, Kingdom Fungi, and Kingdom Plantae. Now we start with the Kingdom Animalia. The kingdom Animalia includes the organisms which are most complex of all kingdoms because they have the characteristic features which are more advanced as compared to the other kingdoms. They are all multicellular organisms. They obtain their food from outside sources, that is, they are heterotrophs, so they depend on others for their food. Now, they move from place to place to get their food, so that means they show locomotion. Now, there's a difference between movement and locomotion. Movement is when there are some molecular movements going on in your body, like the gases are moving in, the nutrients are moving in your body. That's called as movement. But if you are changing your location from one place to another, it will be called as locomotion. Animals, they swallow their food and digest the food inside their body. The next I want to discuss here is the animal kingdoms were earlier classified into only 2 groups, that is invertebrates and vertebrates. Invertebrates being the animals which do not have a backbone, the one that we know now as a vertebral column, and the vertebrates, the animals which have a backbone. But now we have different bases on which we classify the animals. This is a older perspective that we used to have. The next thing is the animal kingdom. I'll define it now for you. It has almost 1 million species of animals which have been described. And so obviously there is a need of classification. In the previous classes, you know what is classification. Classification means grouping of the living organisms. So the classification, it helps in assigning systematic position to the newly described species. Now, there are different bases of classification on the basis of which we classify animals into different groups. The first one is structure and form. Structure and form means on the basis of the structure they possess. किस तरह का structure है उनका, किस तरह के form, किस तरह का उनका basic form है, किस तरह के functions वो perform कर रहे हैं, the arrangement of cells किस तरह का है उनके अंदर, उनकी body का किस तरह का organization है, symmetry किस तरह की है. तो ये कुछ characteristic features हैं जिनके basis पर हम animals को classify करते हैं. Now, first of all, we talk about symmetry. Symmetry means, are we able to divide the animal into 2 halves or not? So, asymmetrical are the animals. If any plane, by be it any plane, आप कहीं से भी उसको अगर किसी भी plane से divide करने की कोशिश कर रहे हैं, it cannot be divided into 2 equal halves. So, sponges generally have many kinds of symmetry and asymmetrical is one of them. So, they may be asymmetrical. Then we have the radial symmetry. Radial symmetry means if through the body, through any plane, be it any plane, आप कहीं से भी उसको divide करें and it is being divided into 2 equal halves, it will be called as radial symmetry. Basically, the word radial has come from radius. जैसे रेडियस आप कहीं से भी सर्कल के अलॉन्ग ले सकते हैं, ऐसे ही रेडियल सिमेट्री का मतलब ये है कि आप कहीं से भी उसको कट करें, वो 2 equal halves में डिवाइड हो जाएगा. Then we have the examples here, like I told you about sponges which are asymmetrical, and radial symmetry is shown by coelentrates, ctenophores, and echinodermids. Next, we have the bilateral symmetry. Bilateral symmetry can be easily understood with the example of human beings itself. We have every organ in pairs. So, जितने भी organs की हम बात करते हैं वो pairs में है. तो यहाँ पर क्या हो रहा है कि आपके जितने भी organs है, so that can be if we divide from one plane. There is one single plane जहाँ से अगर हम divide कर रहे हैं तो पूरी animal body को that can be divided into 2 equal halves. 2 equal halves में divide कर सकते हैं and that's called as the bilateral. Bi means 2, lateral means sides. Examples are annelids and arthropods. Now, depending upon the levels of organization also, the animals can be classified. The first one is cellular level of organization. If the body is entirely made up of only cells, सिर्फ cells के aggregate से अगर पूरी body बनी हुई है तो उसे कहते हैं, that is cellular level of organization. Next, we move on to tissue level of organization. If there are some tissues which are forming, मतलब cells मिलकर, कुछ aggregates मिलकर tissues बना रहे हैं और फिर वो आगे functions perform कर रहे हैं, that is called as tissue level of organization. This will be found in the Coelenterata. Next is organ level organization, in which now organs are also developed. पूरा systems developed नहीं है, लेकिन कुछ कुछ organs developed हैं जिनकी help से the animal is able to perform its function. Example is platyhelminthes. The next is annelids. Now annelids, arthropods, mollusks, echinodermids and chordata. These have now organs associate it themselves. जैसे हमारी बॉडी में ही देखेंगे, we belong to chordata, तो हमारी बॉडी में ही देखेंगे तो पूरे पूरे systems developed हैं. जैसे digestive system consists of esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine. So all these organs are part of the digestive system. तो इसी तरह से जितने भी systems मिलकर अगर आपकी बॉडी का पूरा ऑर्गेनिज्म बनाते हैं, तो अगर इस तरह का सिस्टमैटिक आपकी बॉडी में अरेंजमेंट है, that will be called as organ system level of organization. Now, organ system level of organization maybe have, depending upon the different types of organ systems they possess, it can be of different types. Like there can be incomplete digestive system if it has only one opening, single opening है. Complete digestive system इसका मतलब है दो openings है, mouth and anus. That means ingestion और excretion के लिए, egestion के लिए दो अलग अलग openings हैं. Then it will be called as complete digestive system. सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम भी दो टाइप का होता है, ओपन एंड क्लोज्ड. ओपन सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम का मतलब है अगर ब्लड कंप्लीटली ब्लड वेसल्स में फ्लो नहीं कर रहा है, बॉडी कैविटी में डायरेक्टली फ्लो कर रहा है, दैट्स कॉल्ड एज ओपन सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम. और अगर कंप्लीटली ब्लड वेसल्स प्रेजेंट है, जैसे हमारी बॉडी में आर्टरीज, कैपिलरीज और वेन्स प्रेजेंट है जिनमें ब्लड फ्लो करता है, सो वी हैव अ क्लोज्ड सर्कुलेटरी सिस्टम. नेक्स्ट we move on to coelom. Now that's a very important feature which will be discussed throughout the chapter. Coelom क्या है? The coelom is a body cavity. एक खाली जगह है, cavity है, which is lined by the mesoderms. So इसी basis पर हम animals को तीन groups में classify करते हैं, coelomates, pseudocoelomates and acoelomates. Coelomates animals वो हैं जिनमें एक true coelom, एक true body cavity जो कि mesoderm से arise हुई है, present है. That's called as coelomates. सूडोसीलोमेट्स का मतलब क्या हुआ? एक प्रॉपर कैविटी प्रेजेंट नहीं है, बल्कि मीजोडर्म के पाउचेस कहीं कहीं बिटवीन एक्टोडर्म एंड एंडोडर्म प्रेजेंट है. थ्री जर्म लेयर्स होती है, थ्री जर्म लेयर्स हैं, एक्टोडर्म, एंडोडर्म, मीजोडर्म. तो अगर मीजोडर्म कंप्लीटली बॉडी कैविटी बना रहा है तो वो सीलोमेट्स हैं. अगर मीजोडर्म बीच बीच में पाउचेस में प्रेजेंट है तो उसे कहेंगे सूडोसीलोमेट्स. और अगर ये बॉडी कैविटी एब्सेंट है, सीलोम एब्सेंट है, देन द एनिमल्स आर कॉल्ड एज acoelomates. Examples of coelomates are mollusks, arthropods, echinodermids, while pseudocoelomates are aschelminthes. Acoelomate, the example is platyhelminthes. Next, we move on to the next characteristic feature, that is diploblastic and triploblastic organisms. Now, we just discussed that there are two or three germ layers, that is ectoderm, endoderm, and mesoderm also may be there. So if the animals possess only two germ layers, two embryonic germ layers, then they are called as diploblastic. While if they have another layer present in between, that is mesoderm is present in between, then it is called as triploblastic. For example, platyhelminthes to chordates all are triploblastic, while the earlier ones, that is coelentrates and sponges, they are diploblastic. The next we move on to the next characteristic feature, which is segmentation. Now, animals show another characteristic feature, which is segmentation. Now, the segmentation, on the basis of this, the animals are classified into whether they are segmented body or whether they do not have a segmented body. So, if animals, in some animals, the body is externally as well as internally divided into segments. Segments मतलब छोटे-छोटे हिस्सों में divided है. Then they are called as segmented. Now, with a serial repetition of at least some organs, like in earthworm, Annelida में segmented body है, and that is called as metameric segmentation, and this phenomenon is called as metamerism. The next is notochord. Now, notochord, what do you mean by notochord? Notochord is a mesodermally, just read it from here, it is a mesodermally derived rod-like structure formed on the dorsal side during the embryonic development in some animals. So animals which possess notochord are called as chordates, and the ones which do not possess notochord are called as non-chordates. So from porifera to echinodermids are the non-chordates, while the chordata are called as the ones which possess notochord. Now, there are 11 different phyla. So far, you in class 9th, we discussed about 9 phyla. But now we are discussing here in class 11th, we'll be discussing about 11 phyla of the animal kingdom. Phylum is the singular, phyla means the plural, many. So here we have, you know about Porifera, you know about Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Aschelminthes. Earlier we named it as Nematoda. If you remember, roundworms were called as Nematoda, but now here we will be using the term Aschelminthes. Next is Hemichordata, which is a new term, which will be the new phylum that we'll be studying. Annelida is already done. Mollusca, you must have heard, Echinodermata, Arthropoda, Chordata, and another phylum which is called as Ctenophora, which we'll be studying in class 11th. Now, animal kingdom has been further divided on the basis of different characteristic features into different phylums. And this we'll be studying in the next video. For now, I'll just tell you the few characteristic features of some of the important phyla, like the Porifera. The Porifera means having pores, they have canal system, and they have specialized cells called as choanocytes, which line their cavity known as spongocoel. Examples are Spongilla and Cycon. So these are the few animals that I have shown here, which are the characters, which have the characteristic features of Porifera. Next is Coelenterata. Coelenterata have the polyp and medusa forms. That is the one which is attached and the one which is free. Two forms are there. They all have these tentacles on the body. Examples are the hydras, the jellyfish, the corals, the sea anemones. So you can see the examples here. Now, the worms have been divided into 3 groups. That is the flatworms, which are called as the Platyhelminthes, the roundworms, which are called as the Aschelminthes, and the segmented worms, which are called as the annelids. Mollusca. Mollusca includes the animals which have a hard shell surrounding the soft body parts. They live in water and damp places. The examples are snail and sea scallop. They have a foot for locomotion and a visceral hump. Octopus and sea slug. These are the examples of mollusca. Next, we come over to the Ctenophora. Ctenophora, I told you, is a new phylum which will be added in class 11th, which we didn't study in class 9th. Ctenophora are also called as sea walnuts, and they have this characteristic feature of showing bioluminescence. They're also called as comb jellies. They are not members of cnidarians or Coelenterata as we call them, although they have some of the similarities with the phylum Coelenterata. Next is Echinodermata. If you remember Echinos means hedgehog. So these are the animals which are having this spiny skin. Spiny skin मतलब उबड़ खाबड़ skin रहती है इनकी. They have a specialized water vascular system. Examples are starfish and sea urchins. Arthropoda is the largest phylum of the animal kingdom. The characteristic features are they have hard exoskeleton, they have a segmented body, they have jointed appendages. Examples are beetle, millipede, centipede, spiders, the house flies, and whatever almost जितने भी insects अपने आसपास आप देखते हैं, they all belong to Arthropoda. Next is Hemichordata. Hemichordata are exclusively marine animals. The body is divided into 3 main parts, that is proboscis, this upper part that you can see, the collar, and the trunk. This lower part that you can see is called as the trunk. Proboscis is the gland which is used for the excretion. Next phylum is Chordata. Now Chordata, they have internal skeleton inside the body. They are the ones which possess this notochord, which we discussed earlier. They have a dorsal nervous system. The pharynx is perforated with gill slits. They have a ventral heart. Examples are fish, amphibians, reptiles, birds, mammals. These are the classes under the phylum Chordata. That's all for now. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.